Hi, my name is Dennis Chu, and I'm the Senior Product Manager here at Coverity. But for the purposes of this video on Test Advisor, let's suppose that I'm the development manager for my company that's about to release its new version of our flagship product. Now, competition is really heating up in the marketplace, so releasing a high-quality product that is on time and successful is of the utmost importance. Now, as a development manager, I know that my developers spend approximately 50% of their time testing the code that they write. But what I don't know is whether this code that they're testing is actually important from a business perspective. But now with Test Advisor, this is something that I have much more control and visibility around, and I'll show you how. So let's suppose that this diagram represents all the code that is part of this new release. The outer circle represents all the code, and the inner circle here represents what is legacy code. So this outer ring here is the code which I know has been in the product for many years now. It makes up, in fact, the backbone of my product. And this code has been through at least one, usually much more, QA cycles, so full testing cycles. And I know that it's in the wild, so to speak, so in customer hands. And in that regards, perhaps less important to test for the purposes of this new release. Now, what's inside the circle is the new code. New code in the sense that it is code that has been newly checked into the SCM system, code that was written since our previous version. Now, even with new code, there's a lot of new code that is perhaps of low risk. What I mean by low risk is there's a lot of code that is perhaps for debugging purposes only, or for secondary features, less visible features. So what I really want to focus on as the development manager are the features that I know will be heavily scrutinized by my executive team, heavily scrutinized by analysts, and even the general public. Now, even with this core functionality that I want tested, a lot of this code that makes up this core functionality may be untestable because there are perhaps code that is dead code, or perhaps there are unreachable statements. So what I'm left with then is really the main part, the area that I want to focus all my test efforts on, and the part of the code that I want my developers to test in its entirety. This is the target that I want to aim for with my development efforts, and this is what I want to consistently measure across all of my teams. So how powerful would it be for you to be able to flag all the untested new code and even change code? And how powerful would it be for you to be able to measure your testing efforts consistently and with the right and correct measure of coverage rather than an arbitrary one which actually aligns to your business priority? This is the promise of Test Advisor. And now let me show you a demo, perhaps an unconventional one, showcasing this new product. So suppose I have 3 weeks of developer time available for testing. Now each of these weeks are represented by a single dart here. Without the pinpoint accuracy of Test Advisor, and also without a direct path to hit my testing goals, what I'm often left with now is 3 weeks of unfocused, ineffective, and often incomplete testing. Now sometimes I may actually hit my target when I'm lucky, but more often than not, I'll probably miss. However, you bring back the clarity that Test Advisor provides you, and you remove the obstacle by providing a developer-friendly workflow that helps you achieve your testing goals. What you're then able to do is to hit your testing goals every time and in less time.